So, welcome back again. Has it been quite a bit of time? Yes it has. So, I figured it was time to try and continue this Koans adventure and possibly finish it. So I was doing some measure karma just to start up, and I see we are having some issues with our normal stuff that keeps changing every time we start a new session. So I think I'm just going to cheat and just say that true should be true. In this case, we know we've solved these. Let me just quickly fix these, and we should be good to go, hopefully, unless there's more stuff that needs to be changed. Yeah, there's. So let's copy. Oh, let's take the hash sign as well. So summer happened, then fall happened with quite a bit of work to do at work, and well, that's possibly the reason, probably the reason. Well, I know it's the reason. So, but now I think things are calming down a bit. Let's try to go through with this. So let's just measure on the topic of hash, about hash tables. Let's see if we are through. Yes, we are through. So let's measure all of them and see if there are more we need to cheat on before we can move on. I think we were about to start on one of the one of the commandlets in commandlet 1. But let's see where we go. I was also trying to play a bit with the halo that I've been having around my head. I actually put in a green screen behind me now, but it didn't really do anything, so I'm back to using VCam, XSplit VCam, and there's still some issues, I think. It's not as big of a halo as it used to be, but it's still there. Hi Brett! Thanks for, well, in Norwegian we say thanks for the last time. I don't think you do that in English. I'm not sure. But it was good seeing you in Birmingham. So we had some issues with measure object. So on line 34. Good. Yeah, it certainly is. It's nice. It's nice meeting people that you've only talked to or communicated with through Twitter or Twitch or whatever. It's it really is. I'm just trying to cheat out of these Koans that seem to change every time we run this. Let's measure on about measure object and see if we are through now. Couldn't find any Koans. Is this a bug as well? Okay, let's this we need to probably comment out. File space name, here are these. Okay, let's do a full measure object then. Hopefully we can continue. No, I think the last time we were done with about modules, so probably something around about new object is where we'll continue now. I can't really remember. So let's just get some measuring through this, and let's hope we won't be using the entire stream on fixing all the stuff that changes on every session. Is the text big enough? Is it okay? Is the music loud enough? So where object now? We have submission line 27. Yeah, I remember these. These are also different on every run through. Wow, yeah. If you can't hear the music, then it's probably a bit too low, but I'm afraid of turning up the volume on it because it tends to be a bit loud. A bit overwhelming, I think. Let's try... let's try this. You're on the conference call. A boring one, I assume. Let's hope no one else in the call is listening to the stream either. Well, I guess they're just... oh, great. So the here we go, where we are. About string builder. I don't think we've done string builder. So this should be a new one. So where is about string builder? That's in the constructs and patterns. Okay, so let's move on. Only 5 minutes into the stream. So string builder. If you have worked with .NET at any point, you will probably be familiar with string builder. It resides in the system.txt namespace and is very good at efficiently building up strings. String objects are largely considered immutable in .NET operations, and as such, actually modifying them or adding onto them directly generally causes the entire string to be rebuilt completely with the new value. This can be quite costly in terms of performance for large strings, so for these we have the string builder. So we are in system.txt.stringbuilder, and we are in the context of creating a string builder, and it can be created with new object. So all things ultimately are carved from a blank slate. So we do string builder equals new object system text string builder, and string builder should be of type, well, I guess, is it string or would it be string builder? Let's assume string. Let's just measure that, because I'm not actually sure about string builder. Yeah, so it should, so it will actually become a string builder. Okay. And it can also be created from a type accelerator. Control of the initial conditions is sometimes critical. So string builder equals system text string builder colon new, and then an SB from string. I think this music is too loud. Again, I'll turn it down. Here we go. SB from string is system text string builder new with an initial string input, and then string builder with set capacity is system text string builder with a length, I guess, of 10. You can call system text string builder new without parentheses in the console to see available overload definitions that can be used to construct the object. So let's do that. See what kind of constructors we have. Yeah, so if we feed it an int, it will give a capacity, so I guess a length of the string. And then if we do a string, only a string, it will build a new string. We can give both a string and capacity. We can give a string and a start index, a length and a capacity. So I guess it will do a substring of the string you put into it. probably. And then you have a capacity and a max capacity. And I'm not really sure what that would mean. Let's hope the Koan would give it. So both string builder from string, and string builder with set capacity should be of type string builder, I would guess. Or will it create a string of it actually? So if you do an empty one, it just creates a string builder. But if, well, let's see. And from string dot length should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And it can be created by casting an existing string. So if we do system text string builder equals initial string, then this will probably be a string builder then. Let's measure this as well, just so we don't go to a new context. So the line 58, yeah, that's the next one. Nice. So context, appending to a string builder string, and it can append strings. So string builder equals system text string builder new, then quantity comes first, quality soon follows. So we have a new empty one, and we want to put in something that makes the length 10. So we do length 10. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I put a 1 in the end. And then the length should be 10. And it can append new lines. So if we do string builder new, and then we append line hello and goodbye, we would get a string, a multi-line string with hello and goodbye. So for whatever reason it didn't take the exclamation mark. And the expected string should be string builder to string. So you have to do toString to convert it to a string, actually, the string builder. And then it can append format strings. So using the same underlying framework as the -f formatting operator. So we build a new string builder, and the format items should be something, and string builder format should be 0 is 1, and then we do water is wet. So what we need to do is have water in this one and wet in this one. So it references index 0 and index 1 in the format items. Where does the format items come into play here? How would this do anything? Oh. You aren't referencing the yeah. So how does the string builder append format work? So here we have we just give it a string, so is there even an overload for that? So we need, so what if we do new and then with the format items, is that acceptable? How does the string builder look then? Okay, so and then if we do an append format on it, that doesn't work either. So we actually need some, so we probably need to do this then, and then format items. Would this work? How does the string builder look now? Then water wet, water is wet. Yeah, that's because I made a, yeah, okay, so let's do this again, and then do this, and then do this. There we go. So this was actually missing something. I'll put a note in it, see if it's a reported bug in the repo or something. Yeah. Yeah, so the one you copied in, this one, is an equivalent, but it's not using the string builder, I guess, but it would do the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'll make a note of it and move on. And it returns a reference to the object. So you can either hide that output or use it to chain the method. So we do a string builder new, string builder append hello, and then we put that into null, so we hide it from the console. And then the reference return points back to the original string builder object. So string builder append who, append r, append you should be string builder. Well, yeah, it would be. And then hi Shane. So this would be hello who are you? Okay, so you can chain it. Well, that's pretty cool. So it would make a string builder object every time. Cool. And then constructing the final string object. So before all, yeah, we do SB equals string builder new with hello, and then we append by. It is as simple as calling a toString, so SB toString should be of type string, and then yeah, it would be hello. Yeah, I actually saw your pull request in the repo the other day. I was going through and looking for stuff to do for Hacktoberfest, and I read it's quite a long pull request, isn't it? Are you close to done? So it can be retained and reused. So we do SB append hello, so then we would get hello by hello, since this is done before all, and then we get hello by hello, and then add white space done. So it's quite an undertaking you put on yourself there, if you have to make Koans for 500 commands. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable demand, Brett. So other string builder methods. So before everything, we do a string builder new text, and it can be cleared. So we do a string builder clear, and then the length should be 0. It can insert sequences. So we do a string builder append is my dog, and then Ben. So yeah. So it's cleared here, and then we append is my dog, and then we insert at index 0, we insert Ben. So that would mean that Ben is my dog. And it can remove sequences. So we do a string builder remove from index 0 and then 4 characters. And that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4. So is my dog. So remove Ben, white space. And then it can replace existing sequences. So so we do insert Steve at the beginning at index 0, and then we replace dog with draconian leech. So that would give us is my and Steve at index 0, and then draconian leech. It's a good thing we don't have anyone named Steve here. Yeah, it should be. So context string builder properties. So before all, we do string builder new, we append a line. When you look into the void also looks into you on another line, and it only has a few properties. So the properties member type is property. So let's do this. I assume it's only 3, but there might be hidden properties. Okay. So let's do member type EQ. We can just do a member type property, right? Yeah. So only 3, yeah, that's what I thought. And then property name is probably an array, I guess. Expected count properties is string builder, and property count should be expected property count, but that's not a variable that's been used before, so I guess it means this. Can't do a bug there. Let's do a bug there. And then property name should be in properties.name. Okay, so we can just choose one of them. So we can choose length. And it indicates the current length of the string. So final string length is something. String builder to string.length should be string builder.length, yes. Final string length should be string builder.length. Okay. So do we count it? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28. So 56, 57 then. Right, yeah. And it indicates the currently allocated capacity. So is that the same as the length? So if we do a string builder capacity, that's 64. So, and it's 61, not 57. So why is it 64? Is it always 3 more than... No, it's not. Oh, so it... Okay, so if we put in... so 8... Does it just double every time if we don't do anything about it? Why is my insert on? Dear God. Can I mark with... Yeah, okay. Okay, let's just append lines until we need it. So next time, yeah, so every time you hit capacity, it doubles. So I guess that if you do a new one, it will start with probably a 1, I guess. No, it starts with 16, and then it probably doubles from that then. Yeah. So it doubles every time you cross it. So then, since we are below 64, it would be 64. And it indicates the maximum capacity of the string builder, which is this number, and I'm not sure what that number is. But it's probably 64 bits, or is it 32? So it's math x, no? How do you do exponents again? I can't remember. I think this is probably 32 bits then. Okay, so let's measure about string builder. So there's something wrong on line 70. So we expected So why does it expect an extra line? Are you allowed? You're not allowed to end the string like this now. You have to end it like this. Do we have to append an extra empty line to make it? No. Okay, so append line actually is the one that's doing the extra. So what we need to do is put in a new line here. Yeah. And then on line 139 we did something wrong with the draconian leech. Yeah, because it only replaced dog, not the period at the end as well. How about now? Here we go. So that was about string builder as well. That's nice. Yay! So let's do one more. It's been so long. So what would be the next then? So this is, might as well figure it out ourselves. This is 302. It's 5, 7, 4, 1. So custom objects then. So custom objects. This is a fun one. I love custom objects. Yeah, sure. Have a nice lunch, Brett. So custom objects. PowerShell often makes extensive use of custom objects, similar in usage to Expando object for C#. PowerShell's PSObject wrapper allows almost any object to be given additional properties. These differ from their base type properties and are often in the form of node properties and script properties. Node properties can store any value or reference to another object, permitting nested objects and effectively mirroring any static property as you might find on a defined class, but can be easily added to a new object without needing to define a class. Script properties are defined as a script block value. Upon retrieving the value, the script block is evaluated with the final value of the script property being resolved on the completion of the script block. So we describe PSKoans object. It can be built from a hash table. So this behaves like a cast, but it's actually a bit different. A directly cast hash table preserves the order of the elements, unlike regular hash tables, thanks to some parser magic. So we do object equals, and then we cast a hash table to a PSKoans, although it is a bit different. So object PSKoans, and then a hash table with the property equals value, and the object would be of type PSKoans. So it will gain the type of PSKoans. It can be built by trimming objects down. So we have an object, we do a get child item on the path home, we select the first one, and we select property name and parent. The object should be of type PSKoans, and something should be object parent name. Yeah, so we have to run this then, because I am not sure what the first object in my home path is. So if we do object parent.name, that would be okay. So that would be just the folder name. Yeah. Thanks for the follow, what letters? Appreciate it. It can have arbitrary properties as well. So object equals PSKoans with something, which is going to be the property name. So something should be object properties count, and something should be name. So we can give it whatever we want. So we do name, and 1 should be the count, and object, no, what's this then? No, we need to give it property name, and then we need to do object. And it can be added to. So we do object equals PSKoans with a property name property1, which would have a value of 12, and then we use the add member commandlet. So we pipe the object into add member, and then we add a member type note property, which is called property2, and the value should be object.property1 minus 7, so 5. And it can have script properties. So we create an object with base property equals 17, and then we add a script property with a name derived property, and the value of this is a script block. So script properties can reference their parent object using this. So we have a derived property which would have the value of this is this base property plus, so 18, and then 18 mod 4, which in my head would give me 2. So 2. But what if we call it more than once? It would still be the same because it references the base property, not itself. So it would still do the same operation every time, I guess, but it would still be the same value. Had it referenced itself, the derived property, it would probably change every time you looked at it, I think. Okay. And it can declare script properties without add member with custom getters and setters. So we do a new object with base property with a property named base property, which has the value of 11. We do object PS object properties add. So this is a method on PS object. So a script property can consist of a name, a getter, and optionally a setter. So we do a PS script property new. We call it PS custom property, and it has first a script block, which is the getter. So in the getter we do this is base property plus 1, and then we have another script block in this constructor, which is a setter, and we have a parameter value which we give it, and then we set the base property to negative the negative of the value we give it. So if we just get it without doing anything to it, the custom property takes base property plus 1, and that's 11, so we do 12. And now we set it to 12, and that would kick in the setter. So then we set the base property to negative 12. So in this case, what would we put itself to be? It wouldn't change itself. So since we've already set it to 12, it would still be 12, and this would be negative 12. Okay, so time to measure again. So we measure on the topic about custom objects. Let's see if we got them all right. We didn't. So line 66, that's pretty recent. So it expected 3. Oh yes, because base property. It actually, yeah, now I get it. So base property, the first time we called it, it set the base property plus, so it actually set it, so it became 18, and then we did a mod 4, and then the next time it became 19, and then we did a mod 4, so that would be 3, yeah. Trick question. Expected minus 11. Well, yeah, because we set it to base property. No, 11. How does this become minus 11? Oh, is that allowed? So it does a negative, or it does a minus equals. I didn't know you were allowed to have a white space in minus equals. Well, the more you know. We're still, well, now it got 12. Is it? Because, yeah, I thought it was minus equals as well, but how would it get minus 11 if it... it doesn't really make any sense, this. Because now this became minus 11. How did that happen? Yeah, that's weird. So we have an object which has a base property of 11, and then we add the custom. Oh. So we're getting the multi-line paste stuff in. Well, let's try it in terminal then. Let's do it again. What now? This I've seen a bit lately. Do we have to go all the way back to Windows PowerShell? Why would it be like this? Oh, let's okay, let's put this into a variable then. And then we do objects.PSObject. It doesn't have a PS. Okay, add a hidden one, and then we do just the var like this. So we do object now. It immediately has a base property of 11. Because why? Yeah, a base property, yeah, but a custom property of 12. Why does it have? Because you get it, and then it adds to it. So that's okay. So that's okay. That would be the same every time, because it just every time you get it, it would be one more than base property. But then you set, oh yeah, because then you set custom property to be 12. And then you call the setter, which then, and this is where I'm a bit baffled, because I would assume that it would just negate it, so it would set it to -12. And that would make, yeah, that would make custom property -11 because it's one more. Yeah, so this would be, so I was right the first time. It is. I was just wrong about this. There we go. So it does set it to minus, yeah, that was what I thought. So it does set it to -12, but when you get it, it's always one more than the base property, which would then be -11. So it does make sense. Who'd have thunk? There we go. We're through. Let's do a complete measure karma. Oh, great. That was fun. That turned out to be almost an hour-long stream. That's cool. So we are almost through. Hopefully I can get back to streaming these, at least finishing Koans. I have some ideas of other stuff I want to stream as well, but I really want to finish the entire Koans, especially since I've seen a lot of activity on the repo, so a new version might be in the coming, and it would be nice to have this finished before that. So the next one is about PS objects. We are on 238 out of 272, so only, well, 34 more. Nice. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching again. I'll see you soon sometime. Hopefully this week, but at least next week. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the new follower if you're still watching, and I'll see you next time.